welcome to my channel. Thanks for stopping by. My name is Jhene, aka Modern Day Esther, and today I'll be sharing a story with you all about my first encounter with racism. Now, to me now, looking back on it, like, the story is absolutely hilarious. At the time, my feelings were really hurt because I was really confused and I didn't quite understand what was going on, but let me just go ahead and tell the story. The story has a bit of a backstory. So I think I was about 8 or 9 years old and I attended school at the Richmond Ballet. It's in Richmond, Virginia. I've been dancing since I was 2, and at that time I was attending Richmond Ballet. And pretty much it was a Saturday, I think, and I had just gotten out of class and my mom and I were walking out of the building, but she stopped at the front desk to ask a woman a question, I think about paying my tuition or when the next payment was due. And I was looking in the glass room because it was like we had a studio stage inside of our actual dance school, and I saw a runway and I saw a bunch of people and I saw like girls walking the runway, and I'm like, Mom, are you busy? Can we go in? Can we go sit and can we go watch the fashion show? And she's like, okay, sure, we have time. So we go and we go inside of the studio. We sit in the very back because it's literally packed to capacity in there. I still have on my leotard and my tights from dance class. And so we're just sitting in the back and I'm watching, and it's actually an American Girl fashion show. And if you don't know what American Girl is, it's a company pretty much where you can have your own doll created to look exactly like you, but they also have dolls that are already created that have a backstory. Some of them, one of them I believe is a pilgrim, one of them is African American. She was a former slave, but her and her family were freed. So it's like each doll has its own individual story. But the theme for this particular fashion show was Angelina Ballerina, and Angelina Ballerina is pretty much a British mouse. She's white, pink tail, pink ears, red eyes, and she dances. And so American Girl and Angelina Ballerina partnered together to host this fashion show at the Richmond Ballet. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching and I'm just in awe because I loved fashion and dance at the time. So to see the two of them come together, I was just in heaven. And I'm sitting in the back with my mom, and this woman approaches and she like squats down and she asked me if I went to school there. And I'm like, yes ma'am, I go to school here. And she was like, oh, that's great. She was like, you're so beautiful. And I'm like, thank you. And she asked my mom if she could talk to her, and she pulls my mom to the side. But me being nosy, of course I'm listening to their conversation, and she pretty much asked my mom if I can fill in for one of the models that were actually sick and couldn't make it that day. They were short, actually multiple models, but they were just trying to fill this one spot. And so my mom was like, well, I don't know, what would she have to do? How long would you need her to be here? And she was like, well, we can take her backstage right now for a fitting, and then she can go home and she'll just have to come back tomorrow at 7 a.m. for the call time for us to, have a quick run through, and then she'll just walk for us the next 2 days. And I'm sitting there like, oh my god, I'm gonna get to model for American Girl, which was my favorite doll company at the time, after Barbie, of course. And so my mom and the lady come over there, and I'm just, trying to remain calm, like I didn't just hear this lady ask my mom that. And my mom asked me, she was like, Jhene, do you want, and before she could even get out, I'm like, yes, 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 like I'm literally leaping out of my seat. So the woman was like, great, we're happy to have you. And she takes me backstage and she begins to explain to me what she wants me to do. She says that she wants me to model the Angelina Ballerina collection piece, which was pretty much like a robe with ears. It came with matching pants and a matching blouse. It was so cute. I wish I had pictures, but anyway. And she also wanted me to wear the Angelina Ballerina dance outfit, which consisted of a pink leotard, pink tutu, a pair of little mouse ears, a little tail, and some ballet slippers. And I was so excited to be able to do that. It was a few other outfits too. I can't remember exactly what they were, but those were the two that I was most excited about. So she takes me to this holding room, and it's about, I think, 10 other girls in there, and we're just all sitting, and she takes my mom along to a different room so she can fill out like consent form and paperwork. And I look around and I don't recognize any of these girls because a lot of the girls that they had in the fashion show weren't students at the Richmond Ballet. They came from other cities or other dance schools. And so I'm just sitting there, minding my own business, and then these 3 girls come up to me and they're like, hey, what's your name? And I'm like, oh, I'm Jhene. nice to meet you. And then she just kind of and like makes this face at me. And she's like, what are you doing back here? And I'm like, well, I'm here to model. I'm here to be a part of the fashion show. And then she was like, I don't understand. She was like, I don't know why they chose you. You don't look like Angelina Ballerina. And then her and her little friend start laughing. And at the time, I'm just like, okay, whatever. I don't know what she's talking about. But after I sat there and thought about it a while, and I actually scanned the room even further, I'm the only black girl in there. And I know what she meant by that now. Angelina Ballerina is a white mouse, and I'm a brown girl. So she's wondering why a brown girl is in an Angelina Ballerina fashion show. Which, you know, I didn't let it faze me. I didn't think about it too much. And so my mom comes to the room. She was like, Ladybug, you ready to go? And I'm like, yes. So we leave and we go home. And I tell her, you know, what the girl said. And she was like, oh, don't worry about it, you know. Just to go to practice in the morning. You get to be in a fashion show. You should be excited, which I was so excited. So whatever the girl said, I just, you know, brushed it off my shoulder. And I went to the rehearsal the next day. So I get there. It's about 6:30, you know. We're sitting there, we're all in the room. The woman comes in, she gives us some instruction. She assigns each of us our outfit, and she sees, you know, that I'm a little taller than one of the other girls, I think. So she ended up adding an additional outfit to what I was already wearing. And so she gives us our assignment. She says out loud that I'm Angelina Ballerina, or that I'm playing that role in the fashion show. And the young lady, let's see, let me give her a name. Let's call her Bella. Bella, the little girl who said something to me the day before, was like, excuse me, ma'am, how is she gonna be Angelina Ballerina when Angelina Ballerina doesn't look like that? And the lady was like, I'm not quite sure what you mean, Bella. She was like, well, Angelina Ballerina isn't brown, so how can she be Angelina Ballerina? And she was very snarky about it. Like, her and her friends were just giggling and laughing, and I'm just like, okay, here she go again with the brown stuff, calling colors, okay. And I'm just thinking, like, Bella is still sitting here playing this color card. Like, why aren't you doing anything? You know, thinking to myself, why isn't this teacher or whoever, this woman that's instructing us, why isn't she doing anything about it? And she's just like, oh, Bella, that's not very nice. You need to apologize. And Bella's like, sorry. Okay, yeah, you're right. You're so sorry. But I was not very confrontational as a child. I'm still not confrontational now, but I'll speak up for myself now. But at that time, you know, I just ignored it, didn't think about it, you know, just let it fall off my shoulder. And then after that, she told us to line up so that we could practice our runway. So all the girls line up. It's about 12 of us in there, I'll say, and I think I was the 5th or 6th person in line, and it was about 2 people between Bella and I. So the first girl, she walks. The second girl, she walks. Bella, she walks. Another girl walks, and then I walk. Now, after the girls walked, they just stood on the side because we were in a really small, like, holding room. It was just a table in there and a couple of chairs. And as I'm walking, I take about 5 steps, and then I fall flat on my face because Bella put out her foot and she tripped me up. A majority of the girls in the room, they laughed because, you know, they thought it was funny. Kids see someone fall, it's hilarious, hee hee ha ha. But one girl came over, she helped me up, and the teacher was like, Bella, that is not very nice. You need to apologize to Jhene right now. And Bella's like, oops, I'm sorry, Jhene. I didn't mean to trip you up. I was just stretching my leg. Okay. Anyways, after we practice our run-throughs, after, you know, Bella stopped being immature, we're all sitting. The fashion show was about to start in about an hour, so everybody was, you know, getting their little hair and makeup done. And Bella and her 2 little minions, they're sitting, like, at a table away from me because I was pretty much by myself because I didn't really know anybody there. Everybody else was pretty much clicked up because they knew everyone. So I'm just sitting there chilling, minding my own business. And I hear Bella say something to the girls, and what she says is, I don't even know why Jhene is here. She said, I don't know why Jhene is even here because there are no brown ballerinas. There is no such thing as a brown girl being a ballerina. And when she said that, my heart literally sank into the bottom of my stomach because I'm thinking about it. And at the time, that was like what, 2003, I'd say 2003 or 2004. There weren't really any African American ballerinas at that time. You know, of course you had hip hop dancers, you had jazz dancers, but as far as strictly ballet in the entertainment industry, there were no African American women like in the spotlight, because there was no Misty Copeland yet. You know, that hadn't happened yet. So I was crushed for the duration of the day. I really didn't know how to feel. I was questioning everything for the rest of the day. But we had a fashion show to do. We did our showing for the day. It was great. I had fun walking, but I went home that night and I told my mom what she said. And she was like, Jhene, you can't listen to her. You don't have to believe her, because she was like, I guarantee you that you dance better than her. She was like, you're beautiful a beautiful dancer. God gifted you to dance, and that's what you're going to continue to do. You know, we just, you know, had a talk, and she made me feel better. I went to sleep at peace. The next day was the last day. So they told us to bring snacks. They told us to bring coloring books, because that was going to be our longest day. We were doing 2 shows that day. Same show, but just doing it at 2 different times. So that morning I had to get there at about 6. I'm sitting there. This is such a funny day. I'm sitting there. We're in the green room. And I have my coloring book. You know, some girls, you know, they're drawing, some girls are reading, some girls have handheld games. But I pull out my strawberry shortcake coloring books because I loved strawberry shortcake. And I'm sitting there with my coloring books and my crayons. And Bella, she didn't bring anything to do. And she's sitting over there watching me color. And you know, some of the other girls came over and asked me, hey, can I color with you? I'm like, yeah, sure. I had like 8 coloring books and the huge like 64 pack of crayons. So a couple of girls are sitting there coloring with me, and Bella's just sitting there looking like a lost puppy. So she comes over to me and she was like, hey Jhene, how are you today? And I'm like, fine. And she's like, what have you got there? Is that a strawberry shortcake coloring book? And I'm like, yeah, that's what it is. You see strawberry shortcake on the cover. And so I'm coloring, and then here is the kicker. She picks up a brown crayon and she looks at it. She was like, you know, brown is like such a beautiful color. Brown is like one of the prettiest colors in the whole rainbow. And she was like, it's different shades of brown. And she's like holding up 2 crayons now. And she was like, and I just love strawberry shortcake too. You know, strawberry shortcake has a brown friend? If you all don't know, strawberry shortcake does have a brown friend. Her name is Orange Blossom. She has this beautiful chocolatey skin and these 2 huge dark brown afro puffs with orange barrettes in it. So that's who she was referring to. And I'm like, yeah, I know that. I love Orange Blossom. And then after her, you know, giving all of these praises to the color brown, which it was so funny to me, because the girls' faces, they were looking at her like, weren't you just making fun of her yesterday and the day before that because her skin is brown? Like, they knew what she was up to. They knew exactly what she was doing, and I did too. And so she asked me after doing all of this, she's like, would you mind if I colored with you in your coloring book, Jhene? Now, several thoughts went through my head at this time, and I'm like, no, I shouldn't let her color in this coloring book, because she gave me the roughest 2 days. Like, for no reason. She was mean, she was rude, she was disrespectful to me. No, I'm not gonna let her color. But my mother did not raise me that way. She raised me to be the bigger person in situations, and that, you know, revenge, it's not mine. Revenge belongs to God. I will be vindicated in this situation. So, being the bigger person, I scooted over. Sure, Bella, you can color with me in my coloring book. So she opens the coloring book straight to a page of Orange Blossom, of course, and she colors Orange Blossom with her beautiful chocolate skin and her beautiful dark brown hair, okay? So that's how the rest of the day went. And after, you know, we did our first showing, it was great. We had our snack in between, Bella still being Little Miss Nice. And then, you know, we had our final showing of the night. We finished up around 8, I would say. And, you know, we're wrapping up, we're packing up all our stuff. And this woman comes up to me. She was like, you're Jhene, right? And I'm like, yes, ma'am, that's me. and she was like, I am so sorry. Like, I heard everything that my daughter did to you. I am sincerely sorry. She was like, I don't know where she got it from. She was like, I just want to tell you that you're absolutely beautiful. Your skin is beautiful. Your hair is beautiful. You looked absolutely beautiful on the runway, and brown is absolutely beautiful. It makes me emotional now thinking about it. The fact that she took the time out of her day to come and, you know, give me those positive affirmations. And she brought Bella over, and she was like, I think Bella has something she wants to say to you. And she like pushed Bella up, and Bella apologized to me. She told me that, you know, she was sorry for picking on me. She was just, you know, jealous because she wanted to play the part of Angelina. And her mom was like, I don't think Bella needs this. And, you know, we got these amazing swag bags from American Girl for participating in the fashion show. And the mom actually ended up giving me Bella's bag to have. So, you know, I went home that night and I told my mom. And, you know, she was like, I told you you didn't have anything to worry about. It all worked out in your favor. And, you know, I had so much fun. Overall, outside of that, it was an amazing experience. But, you know, it was also a lesson to me because I had never been treated that way because of the color of my skin. Throughout elementary school, I went to a very diverse school. In middle school, I went to a very diverse school. People of all nationalities, Caucasians, Asians, Hispanics, Indians, literally everyone, and I had never been treated like that before. So that was kind of like a wake-up call to me that there are people in the world that don't like this and don't care for this for a plethora of reasons. But in the end, I was vindicated in the situation. You know, it turned out to be good. And that is the story about my first encounter with racism. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give this video a huge thumbs up, subscribe, share with a friend, and also comment some suggestions. Tell me what you guys want to see on this channel. I have tons of ideas, but again, I'm here for you guys. I'm a lady for the people, so tell me what you want to see. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.
How could you ever question? They know better to mention the budget trucking just enough to make her pay attention. The who, what, why, and where. They sport the flyest pair. She got the nicest hair and she know life is better with this liquor. It's crazy how the world look different. It's crazy how the girls look different.